All right, that's enough, Martha.
You've made an enemy of me, reindeer. Make no mistake about it.
Welcome to WatchMojoUK, and today we're looking at the biggest TV scandals in the UK over the last 12 months.
I would get the producers saying, on the Friday, we've just watched the footage back, we are shocked and horrified, we're so sorry.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Number 10. Philip Schofield returns.
Got a bit of a shock. Right. I'm afraid you've been let go from this morning.
This was the comeback story absolutely nobody was interested in, when Philip Schofield returned to the small screen after over a year hiding from the spotlight.
I've been cast away on a desert island. It's my chance to tell my side of my story.
In the wake of his monumental scandal in 2023, he disappeared from the public eye, only to reveal that he'd been filming an edition of Cast Away in Madagascar for Channel 5. For 3 nights on the trot, Schofield roasted crabs and complained vaguely about all those backstabbers at ITV, claiming that if he'd had his affair with a young woman, he wouldn't have lost his job.
I know what I did was unwise, but is it enough to absolutely destroy someone?
It was hours of Schofield feeling sorry for himself and revealing very little of interest from the fallout from ITV, and a big waste of time for everybody involved.
At the moment, it's just given me more anguish.
Number 9. Tetris.
Now, Tetris has long been touted as a video game that just can't be beaten because it just goes on and on.
In January 2024, 13-year-old Wallace Gibson became the first human being to beat Tetris and reach its notorious kill screen. The kill screen had previously only been reached by AIs, and some didn't even believe this was possible. However, when the story appeared on Sky News, anchor Jane Secker wasn't all that impressed by Gibson's feat, saying that it was pointless and Gibson should spend more time outside.
As a mother, I would just say step away from the screen, go outside, get some fresh air. Beating Tetris is not a life goal.
She laughed it off, but it soon became a media storm, with people attacking Secker for not valuing Gibson's accomplishment. Gamers were outraged and wanted Secker to apologise, although she never did. Perhaps she was too busy being outside to check her phone and see what had happened.
Well done, that child. Please go out and get some fresh air.
Number 8. Greg Wallace.
Let me get this right. So the malt flour obviously gives it its flavour. The wheat flour, that balances the proteins. And then the starch, that gives it like the gooey texture. Is that right?
In late 2024, TV stalwart Greg Wallace became embroiled in a scandal when dozens of women came forward to accuse him of misconduct. Specifically, many people, including well-known celebs who appeared with him on various shows, including Kirsty Walk and Kirsty Allsop, have said he has a habit of making lewd jokes and inappropriate sexual remarks.
So what is that?
So that's malt extract.
I've heard of that. I don't actually know what it is.
This will intensify your flavour.
Oh, I gotcha.
Apparently, some of this was even caught on camera and affected many productions dating back as far as 2005. He left his presenting roles and denied the allegations, but then went on a bizarre rant on social media, blaming middle-aged women for smearing him. This was after he had another more minor scandal in February, when he revealed his baffling weekend routine.
Alongside the malt extract, this will add that all-important sticky texture to my loaves.
But, oh, that's lovely. Can I have some of that for me ice cream?
Number 7. Mrs. Brown's Boys almost gets cancelled.
What's wrong with you, Grandad?
Haven't slept for 3 days.
In October, Brendan O'Carroll got in trouble when it was reported that he'd made a racial joke during a read-through for Mrs. Brown's Boys. We won't repeat what he said, but he did use a slur and implied another one, in the BBC's words. O'Carroll publicly apologised when it all came out, saying that he was in character, and the Beeb issued a follow-up statement saying that it's opposed to racism.
Heading out on the big date, love?
It's not a big date, Mummy. It's just a quiet drink.
Quiet drink? That's what all men say. They think vodka's a lubricant to get your knickers off easy.
There were widespread calls to finally cancel Mrs. Brown's Boys, but alas, it's bad news for all the haters. It's not been cancelled, and will indeed broadcast a Christmas special and New Year special ahead of a new series in 2025.
I say to the missus, that's a banana, not a willy. It won't get bigger if you squeeze it.
Number 6. The Post Office Scandal.
The Horizon Post Office scandal saw hundreds of innocent people sent to prison.
The government and post office itself got a long overdue reckoning in this decades-old scandal at the beginning of the year, and it was all thanks to ITV making a drama about it.
Oh my God, it's just doubled right in front of my eyes. Now it says I'm £4,000 down.
Mr. Bates versus the Post Office made the public at large aware of this shocking miscarriage of justice, and the years campaigners have spent fighting to get convictions squashed and the culprits punished for what happened. With the UK's sub-postmasters accused of theft and fraud because of a dodgy IT system, some people even lost their lives when the court cases became too much to bear.
You know this, all right, but nobody else does. There's millions of people out there who've never heard of us.
It's even more appalling that it took ITV making a television show to get the government to do something, and that, by the end of 2024, they're still waiting for the wrongs to be righted.
Well, why couldn't you do it so long ago? The fact that it takes an ITV drama and suddenly, having been told their entire campaigning lives, this is very difficult, you'll have to go in front of a judge, this is very, very expensive, oh, this morning it isn't.
Number 5. Jermaine Gus. In August, Jermaine Gus found himself sacked from The One Show, with the news breaking publicly while he was presenting a live radio show.
In a short statement, all a spokesperson said was, "We can confirm that he is no longer part of our presenting lineup."
The BBC's handling of the incident has raised as many eyebrows as the incident itself, with Gus accused of sexting a female member of the production crew unsolicited.
I can't really talk about it.
He was dropped from his presenting duties immediately and eventually admitted that the claims were true and that he'd been lying to his wife about it. Nevertheless, they've remained together and resolved to move past his scandal, and Gus wants to return to broadcasting in the future.
But currently, as it stands, I'm going to have to let the lawyers deal with it. You know, there's two sides to every story.
We're not sure if it was necessary to sack him live on air, though. Number 4. Jay Blades on trial. The BBC's most wholesome show, The Repair Shop, was hit with a shocking scandal of its own this year when popular host Jay Blades ended up in court.
A piano stool for 2 people? Is it right to lift up and have a look?
He was charged with controlling and coercive behaviour, with the public previously unaware of any legal troubles. In October, he pled not guilty, so a trial will follow, but at the moment, the BBC has decided not to rebroadcast episodes of The Repair Shop featuring Blades.
So what's the history behind this one then?
He's also stepped down from many of his high-profile public roles while he deals with the cases, as he's also been to court recently for using his phone while driving.
We're almost happy with this now. Just want to try this in there.
Number 3. Strictly Come Dancing.
Now, some people have called for Strictly to be axed.
Well, there's the reaction.
Shocking. No, but it's an interesting reaction.
This summer, Strictly Come Dancing, the BBC's most popular show by a wide margin, came under fire from various former stars. Chief among them was Amanda Abbington, who threw accusations of misconduct at professional dancer Giovanni Panice.
His past dance partners were getting in touch with you and saying what?
I'm so sorry.
He ultimately left the show, as did fellow dancer Graziano De Prima, when similar allegations went his way. Though the BBC has been cagey about the scandal, and has apparently refused to release the footage of Abbington's own training sessions to her solicitors, it was a watershed moment for telly's most glamorous show. Now celebs are accompanied by chaperones during training to ensure this won't happen again.
What the BBC are now actually discussing is to have chaperones in the training room now, which I actually personally think is a good idea.
Number 2. Hugh Edwards pleads guilty.
Hugh Edwards was the BBC's highest paid newsreader, fronting first the 6 o'clock news and then the news at 10.
2023's biggest TV scandal was Hugh Edwards leaving the BBC after The Sun broke a story that he'd exchanged inappropriate images with a minor. While in that case, police didn't find evidence of criminal wrongdoing, Edwards was eventually taken to court for different offences in 2024.
But Hugh Edwards hasn't been on our screens for a year, following reports in the Sun newspaper claiming he'd paid a young person for explicit images.
He was charged with making indecent images after being sent them by somebody else who was also charged, pleading guilty. More shocking, it turned out that the BBC had known about this since the previous November and had asked the police to keep it quiet. Edwards was still being paid until he resigned from the corporation in April, nearly 6 months after his initial arrest and charge.
The BBC is facing questions about why Hugh Edwards, having been suspended, remained on a full salary and had a £40,000 pay rise.
Number 1. Baby reindeer.
It's a patronising, arrogant feeling sorry for someone you've only just laid eyes on, but I did. I felt sorry for her.
This small and intimate show about comedian Richard Gadd's allegedly true experiences being stalked by a woman named Martha took the world by storm in April.
Can I get you something?
No thanks.
Are you sure? Cup of tea?
No thanks.
You have to buy something.
Can't afford something.
It became a mega hit, but viewers didn't listen to Gadd's requests not to try and identify Martha. Ultimately, she was identified as Fiona Harvey, who went on to claim publicly that she's been harassed by Gadd's fans and that the show was defamatory, as she's never gone to prison.
First of all, why have you decided to go public?
The internet sleuths tracked me down and hounded me and gave me death threats.
Harvey sued Netflix, and while some of her claims were dropped, it does look like the defamation case is going to go ahead because of the show's claims at the beginning that it's a true story. Let us know in the comments what your favourite TV show of the year has been.
There is evidence out there what happened in that room, and I'm not the one who's blocking.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojoUK and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.